Welcome, everybody. You're listening to Westchester Talk Radio, produced by Shark Creative and made possible by our Shark Cast sponsors, including Hightower Westchester, Fiduciary Wealth Advisors, Robeson, The House That Service Built, Lapolis Electric, Don't Be Left in the Dark, Michael Labriola Landscape and Design, Tompkins Mahopac Bank, and White Plains Hospital. Thank you, everybody on the front line. Well, today we have another episode of our nonprofit spotlight, but with a twist, because it's really truly about a remarkable person and her quest for a new kidney. And truthfully, a dear friend of mine, Lizzie, we call her, Rotfeld Tchaikovsky. Liz, it's so wonderful to see you. It's nice to see you in front of me here today. And I just wanted to include you in on our nonprofit spotlight, where we talk about nonprofits typically. And my God, you're like all about nonprofit. You've dedicated your life to helping other people and in the nonprofit sector. So it's very fitting that we'd have you on as a special guest, but we really want to hone in on not just what makes you so remarkable, but also, the situation in front of you. And we want to educate our listeners on how they might be able to help you, how you can educate them on nephropathy, which is what you have, IgA nephropathy. And we want to get into that. But welcome, Lizzie, my dear friend, welcome. It's so good to see you.
Thank you, Andy. Thank you for having me. Thank you for this opportunity.
Yeah, it is a great opportunity. Any time to spend with you, Lizzie, is a great opportunity. Liz, she was born and raised in Portchester. She's a faithful Portchester High School Ram. You did have some heartache early in your life, losing your dad at age 6. You lost your first husband at age 27. But you still, you managed to persevere, as you always have. You've lived a life full of family and friends, and you volunteer all over the place. Just to talk a little bit about that, I know just recently you did some things with the Rybrook COVID Vaccine Angels program. Just another thing to add to the list of all the wonderful things that you do. You volunteered as a board member of the Rybrook Portchester League of Women's Voters, the Portchester Rybrook Library Board, the Portchester Council of the Arts, Council of Community Services, Tamarack Tower, co-president of the Portchester PTA, past president of King Street School, the Portchester Middle School PTAs. I'm going to stop right here because it's just too much. You're really unbelievable. But Liz, let's get into why we have you here today, and let's talk about nephropathy. What is it? What is it all about? And what would you want our listeners to know about it?
Well, it's called IgA nephropathy, and basically it's a kidney disease where deposits of the protein immunoglobulin A, so they call it IgA, it's inside the glomeruli, and the glomeruli filters within the kidney. So it gets rid of excess water and wastes, and it sends them through the bladder, through the urine. So my glomeruli are clogged, so to speak. So it's not acting as a filter. So that's what's causing the kidney disease that I have. And I was first diagnosed back in the mid 90s. I went to work for Kaiser Permanente, which is now WestMed. And at the time, all new employees had to take a physical, and they found blood in my urine, protein in my urine, a few other things. Ultimately, I had a kidney biopsy, and that's how they found that I had it. But back in the 90s, it wasn't so bad, and it was something that you could live with for a while. So it was always in the back of my head that, I had to be careful. I really shouldn't eat a high protein diet, no salts. I went on to have my son now, who is 17. So he's like, I call him my miracle baby. Mm-hmm. And I kind of just like most women do, I think you put yourself on the back burner. And you mentioned all these things that I do, but I do those things for myself too, because they make me very happy. I'm very fulfilled volunteering, but you do forget about yourself. You have a doctor's appointment. Oh, I'm busy at work today. I'll put that off. And you put things off, you put yourself off, and you put everything before yourself. And it's not a good thing to do. So fast forward, my numbers started to climb. My creatinine levels started to climb. And then I've been followed by a doctor. Like every month I go and I give blood work. And then the pandemic happened. Um, so I couldn't give my blood work for a few months. And then back in June, I went and well, I ended up getting COVID last March,
Mm-hmm.
with some of our
Know it all too
friends.
well, actually.
Yes,
Yeah.
unfortunately. Well,
Know it all
fortunately,
too
everyone's
well.
okay. But
Thank
I
God
was
for
one of
that.
those asymptomatic people. I felt fine. I had no issues, but I did test positive. So forward a few months in June, I went and got my blood work, and my doctor called me and said, "What happened to you? You lost 6% of your kidney function." So my kidneys were functioning at 18% pre-COVID, and they went down to 12%, which is not good, obviously.
Mm.
So I said, "Well, I did have COVID in March," and he said that's definitely the reason why that happened. Prior to that, I had been losing like 6% per year. So now they're down to about 11%. Um, and I am now finally on the list for a donor. You can't get put on the donor list until your kidneys are functioning at a certain level, which is really sad, but
Mm.
that's kind of how it works. So in order to speed things up, I was hoping to get a live donor. So my brother tested and they ruled my brother out because he had some medical issues. You have to be perfectly healthy to give a kidney. And then I had several other family members, two friends try, and they were ruled out for, like, if you're overweight, they won't take a kidney from you. So that's kind of where I am now.
Mm.
I'm looking for a donor. I have a few more people that are getting tested. My ex-husband's cousin actually got very far along in the process. And then they found that he had slightly elevated blood pressure, and they disqualified him. So now I have a friend that lives in the area who's going through the testing. So I'm
Liz,
hopeful.
can you talk to us a little bit about the kidney swap program? Right. And first of
Yes.
all, it's you brought it up before. You do so many things for other people, you forget about yourself. And even knowing you as well as I have for so many years, you kind of forget that you even had that issue 25 years ago. It's just, you're all
I
about.
forgot too, Andy.
Well, yeah, you forgot, but that's why we're here today. And quite
Right.
frankly, we want to make sure that our friends and family, I mean, most of them know now, but we want to be sure that we put a spotlight on this and amplify it for you, Liz, because if there's anybody that deserves a replacement kidney, it's you. I mean, my
Thank
God,
you.
you would do anything for anybody. And so whatever we can do to help you, I think right now it's a matter of educating people on it. And you made it known to me just now about the kidney swap program. You don't have to be a match. Is that right?
Right. You
So
don't have to
tell
be a
people about
match.
that. What does that mean?
Yeah. So if you're on, like I mentioned that I'm on the list. Some people wait on that list for 4 to 8 years. That's a long time to wait. My doctor thinks that I should make it for another 9 months to a year before I have to do dialysis. And I'm fully prepared. If that time comes and I don't have a kidney, I have a plan in place. I'll be able to do dialysis in my sleep, pretty much almost function as a regular person. So I'm feeling pretty positive and about that. Um, but I'm hoping to get a living donor, because if you find a living donor, for one, the kidney lasts longer. There's a good chance that it's going to take to your body right away. And the good thing today is that you don't need to match that person. All you need is a healthy person that can spare a kidney. And they put that kidney in a database and they find a match, and you basically you trade organs. So if you have one to give, you'll get one back. And that could take, maybe 6 months. But
Mhm.
there's a lot of testing that goes along, and
Right.
there's privacy laws. So I can't say, "Hey, Andy, you know, why don't you give me a kidney here?" And I can't really be involved in that. I put it
Mhm.
out there that, I'm looking for a kidney. I post the information. I have a Facebook page that my best friend made for me. It's called The Kidney
Which
for
is
Lizzie.
awesome. Yeah, we have it right here.
Yeah, yeah,
A
the
kidney
information.
for Lizzie.
Share a
Just
spare. Isn't that cute? Share a
really,
spare.
really, really sweet. And
Because you only need one kidney,
you only
right?
need one. We
People
get
don't know
two, but
that.
you only need one. And
Right,
I
right.
think you've helped me understand, and a lot of people hopefully understand that if they're healthy enough, and clearly you have to go through a rigorous process. It's not like you could just put
Yeah,
it out there, which is better for that person, right? They're not just going to take anybody.
absolutely.
They
My
want to
cousin, my cousin
ensure that you're
Matthew
going to be
had
okay.
gone for several months. In fact, he was complaining at one point. He called me up and he's like, when are we going to do this already? I want to give you my kidney. We have to make plans so we can enjoy our summer. I mean, he's so cute, but like I said, again, after he ended up getting COVID in January, so it slowed his testing process. And when they got him back on track, I don't know if it was from COVID or if it was an underlying issue, but he had slightly elevated blood pressure, and they wouldn't, and he's young and healthy. He's in his 30s. They would not take his kidney. They really want to ensure that the donor is safe as well, which they should,
Better for you, better for them. A
Yeah.
kidney for Lizzie. Here we come. Let's hope that, something can come out of it soon enough for our dear friend Lizzie. What about how can people help you? Where can they go? Can you just mention a little bit more about the Facebook page? What is the official page? Where do they go to do that? What's the number to call if they want to? I know you mentioned something about Yale New Haven Hospital transplant referral line. Actually, I have the number here.
Yeah, it's so the Facebook page is called The Kidney for Lizzie. And we post different things on there. Actually, I was on the TV show The Doctors in May through a high school friend.
Saw that.
So we got a little exposure that way. There's been some articles in the local newspaper, another newspaper in the Hudson Valley that talked about, organ transplants. So we've been getting a lot of publicity and spreading the word. So on our Facebook page, it's called the Yale New Haven Hospital Transplant Referral Line. And that phone number is 866-925-3897. And you call, you'll get a recording, you leave a message, and they'll call you back within a day or two. And they ask you some, brief questions. And then if it looks like you're a possible candidate for something like this, they'll talk about your weight, any kind of health issues you have, which, if people have issues, they get ruled out right away. And then next steps is they have to do some blood work. And then ultimately they have you in for about a half a day to meet with all the transplant team. They have someone there, a psychologist, all different types of doctors. And you watch a movie and you learn about the transplant and how the operation happens. It's pretty interesting, And that's how that goes.
Well, thanks for sharing all that information. Before we conclude this really special interview in my mind, there's actually a couple people over here that are waiting in the wings that I'm going to let in. So let's just see who's around hanging out and come say hello to our dear friend. And there they are. There are some of the people that love you the most coming right in right now.
Oh my God, my people.
All right, Lizzie, we've been joined by a bunch of our close friends from childhood here to support you. Clearly, everybody loves you, Liz, for all that you do. And we just wanted to be here to amplify your message and just send you our love and, hope that you can take that with you and we can get some more people on this effort for you. So anyway, you have been listening to Westchester Talk Radio, which is produced by Shark Creative and made possible by a host of our friends. But Lizzie, one more time, everybody, let's just give her our love. And as it says behind me, on the count of 3, 1, 2, 3.
A kidney for Lizzie.
All right, Lizzie, we're with you. Keep up the good work, and we'll see you real soon.
Thank you so much. I love you guys.
We love you.
You guys.
We love you too.
Bye-bye.